The morning began like any other at Altura Dynamics, one of the most powerful tech firms in New York. The building glittered with chrome and ambition, its glass walls reflecting the city's pulse. Inside, executives in designer suits clutched their coffees like trophies, while others whispered about quarterly numbers and competitors. In the center of this buzzing empire sat Evelyn Cross, Altura's CEO, a woman as sharp as the skyscraper she ruled. Her reputation was built on intellect, ruthlessness, and an unbreakable belief that brilliance had a pedigree. In her eyes, you could tell the worth of a person by the title on their office door. That illusion shattered on a Tuesday morning. The meeting. The day's agenda? A high-stakes presentation to secure a $600 million international partnership with the Zurich Consortium, a powerful group of European investors. Evelyn had prepared for weeks. The deal required delicate negotiations across multiple countries: Switzerland, Japan, Brazil, France, and the UAE. But 15 minutes before the meeting, disaster struck. Their lead translator, a costly consultant flown in from Geneva, was stuck at JFK Airport due to a grounded flight. The boardroom froze. Investors were already on the video call, speaking a rapid blend of French and German. Evelyn's team exchanged helpless looks. "Someone translate," she snapped. No one moved. And then quietly, from the back of the room, came a hesitant voice. "I can help, if you want." Everyone turned. It was Luis Ortega, the janitor, a middle-aged man in a blue uniform, holding a mop bucket. Evelyn blinked, irritated. "This is a private meeting," she said sharply. "I understand," he replied in flawless French. "But you're about to lose the deal." The investors on the screen paused, and then one of them laughed, answering in the same language. Luis responded instantly, switching from French to German, then to Portuguese, when another spoke up. His tone shifted effortlessly, his accent perfect.
The room went silent.
Evelyn gestured for him to continue. For the next 20 minutes, the janitor commanded the meeting like a conductor before an orchestra. He translated every nuance, every joke, every pause. When the Japanese delegate spoke, Luis bowed slightly and replied in crisp, natural Japanese. When the Swiss investor tested him with idiomatic slang, Luis smiled and fired back with a witty response that made the entire board laugh. By the end of the call, the Zurich Consortium agreed not only to the partnership, but to a 15% higher investment than expected. When the screen went dark, executives broke into applause. Evelyn just stood there, speechless after the room cleared. She approached him. "Who are you?" Luis wiped his hands on a rag. "Just the janitor, ma'am." She wasn't convinced. "No, really. You speak 9 languages?" "11," he corrected softly, "though I'm a little rusty in Russian and Arabic." Evelyn stared at him. "Where did you learn all that?" He shrugged. "Everywhere. My mother cleaned embassies. I used to wait in the hallways while diplomats argued. You pick things up when no one thinks you're listening." She studied him carefully, the quiet humility, the sharpness behind his eyes. "You ever thought about doing something else?" "I used to," Luis said. "Life doesn't always care what we're good at." The offer the next day, Evelyn called him to her office. Luis walked in holding his mop, thinking he'd made some kind of trouble. Instead, she slid a folder across her desk. "I want you on my team," she said, "not as janitor, as liaison for global operations." He blinked, stunned. "Ma'am, I don't have a degree. I just clean floors." She smiled faintly. "You just saved a multi-million-dollar deal. I think you've earned a desk." Word spread like wildfire through the company. The janitor who spoke 9 languages was suddenly sitting in strategy meetings, translating contracts and mediating disputes between foreign partners. Some employees whispered it was a PR stunt. Others called him a genius. But Luis didn't seem to care what anyone thought. He still carried his old uniform folded in his briefcase, a reminder of where he came from. The test. 3 months later, Altura Dynamics faced another crisis. A Chinese manufacturing partner accused the company of violating trade terms, threatening to cut ties and sue for breach of contract. The lawyers were panicking, as the Chinese delegation demanded an immediate meeting. Evelyn looked at Luis. "Can you handle this?" He nodded once. In the conference room, tensions were thick. The translator hired for the occasion froze when the conversation turned to complex cultural metaphors. Luis stepped in, speaking Mandarin with a calm, respectful tone. He didn't argue or defend. He listened. He then told a story in Mandarin about two farmers fighting over a river that fed both their fields. The river doesn't belong to one, he said. It flows between them because both depend on it. You can dam it out of pride or share it and grow together. When he finished, the Chinese director smiled slowly. You understand more than our contract, Mr. Ortega? You understand honor? The partnership was restored that day. Months turned into a year. Under Luce's quiet diplomacy, Altura expanded into 8 new countries, launched initiatives to train bilingual employees, and earned a reputation for cultural respect rare in corporate circles. At the annual shareholders' gala, Evelyn called him onto the stage. The crowd roared as she announced his promotion to Director of Global Relations. Luis looked out over the audience, suits, investors, former skeptics, and smiled. When I cleaned these floors, he began, I listened. People talk differently when they think no one's listening, sometimes cruelly, sometimes kindly. I learned every language the same way, by listening first. He paused, letting the silence stretch. The world doesn't need more people talking. It needs more people who listen. The room erupted in applause. Evelyn, who once believed power came from titles, found herself clapping hardest of all.